The crypto markets are starting to thaw. We're starting to see some juicy prices. BNB's over 900. XRP's moving as well. We'll talk price action, IPO price action too. Did you get in on some of it? What about the Tether story? There's some deeper roots there that we got to talk about. That along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Along with altcoin season at 69. Nice. And you making it to the weekend, so pat yourself on the back. Volume for crypto up a little bit. Price action looking a little juicy. Look at what we got up on the screen. Some inflections. I like it. Now, before we get into that, yes, some IPO talk, some crypto talk. Your comments come first because you, the viewer, matter most. Rebecca Baca says, is Tether the fall guy? Look up what Russia just said about the US utilizing crypto stablecoin to devalue their 37 trillion in debt and then to depeg and dump on the people. I keep telling you that they are using stablecoins, or they're happy with stablecoins because stablecoins are backed by US treasuries, aka debt. So the United States government is like, okay, bring on more treasuries or bring on more stablecoins. Why? Because it's more players buying US debt. So the United States government's happy with this stuff. In terms of being the fall guy, you think the United States government's going to fall? Let me know in the comments down below. Great Lakes State guy, Michigan. Whew, got that out there. Interesting. It definitely helps Tether having an inside man, Trump's former guy. Will you cover where and when to buy it? Yeah, of course. I bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. I bring you XRP news. I bring you IPO news. We talked about Circle. We talked about bankruptcies when it was like Celsius and Three Arrows and Babel and all those players out there. I bring you news that's hot, spicy, naughty, relevant, all over the crypto space. I'm not selling my XRP. It's my biggest bag. But I might as well diversify. That's what this is all about. Bringing you the news and information. And doggy picture. Yeah, she's not feeling so hot. So we decided to mix her medication in her water and bring her water to her on the floor because she doesn't want to really get up anymore. So kind of sad doggy update. All right, like I said, altcoin season index 69 out of 100. Okay, that'll cheer us up there a bit. Volume 162 billion. What are we noticing right now? Well, we're noticing overall a big inflection led by BTC. What else are we noting? BNB getting close to $1,000. Everyone, take a look at the BNB chart right here. You cannot ignore the chart. Go to the all-time chart of BNB. Yo, that is bonkers nutso. Go to the all-time chart of XRP. Very, very different looking than BNB. I just wanted to highlight that because BNB to $1,000, it had a couple times where it was getting to that 600 mark and was pushed back down. And then we saw it happen again around the 600 mark. And now it is on an absolute war. I was telling you to look at BNB at 700. Now breaching 9 on its way to 1,000. Whoa, we got to pay attention. But should we pay attention to Gemini Space Station? Gag me with the spoon. Winklevoss Brothers Crypto Exchange sees stock surge on a NASDAQ debut. Did it really surge? Let's take a look at the charts and you decide. Okay, I'm going to give you some numbers, give you some stats. Let's see. Are they trying to suck on the teeth to getting good with them, or are they telling the truth? The company's IPO pricing, which represents an overall increase, the estimate was $17 to $19, okay, which was then raised to $24 to $26. Okay, so it opened at $37. That's really good, right? Which was raised from 26. So 26 to 37, that's what it opened at, okay? So asking 26 when they did the IPO, opened at 37, and there is your chart, Aroni's girlfriend. Closed at like 32 and change, now at 33.10 as of 4 o'clock right now. I'm sorry, 33.10 as of right now as time of recording. So how do you feel about that? Here, let me refresh this. I'll get some active. Yeah, closed at 32 at 32.45 right now at the time of recording. I mean, I don't know. I don't really think that's melting faces. Yes, it started at 26. 26 to 32 is a good move. But compare that to Circle's insane run in the beginning, right? Circle, whoa, girlfriend went, I mean, just bonkers. Now, granted, pulled back quite a bit from its highs, but Gemini players are still making money. All right, the Tether thing. Let's just talk about that because a lot of people are talking about it. This is a big, big story here. This is a threat to all stablecoin players out there because Tether is the big dog. And when the big dog launches another product, well, you got to pay attention. Tether targets December for the launch of its U.S. regulated stablecoin. All right, they're not waiting. They're going for December. And guess what? Why is this big? Bo Hines is their CEO. Yeah, the White House connection. So Tether has been helping the government in several ways, right? They've been helping them with seizures. So if the government is like, yo, people are using some USDT for some naughty things, Tether, can you help us out? Tether's like, yeah, sure. Can you help us out later? And the United States government's like, oh, okay, yeah. We'll gladly help you out. So we've got some connects here. Bo Hines, Tether's helping out the government. Tether also was training government people on blockchain and crypto. Okay, even further connections. Now Tether launches a U.S. regulated stablecoin. Now that, yes, we've gotten stablecoin regs. Look, I told you more players are getting in. See, players get in even after the regs are launched. And they be launching in December. Okay, let's pay attention to that one. So, overall in the crypto market, like I said, volume, a nice uptick, up now 15% in the last 24 hours. Seeing a very healthy uptick, 4.06 trillion in market cap. XRP's volume up 15% as well, so it was moving along with the market. Let's look at the 1 day. I like what that looks like up on the screen. I think a lot of us are feeling more comfortable right now. We're north of the $3 mark. I think that's the anxiety level. Not only is $3 the floor support, but I think that's also the anxiety level now for a lot of XRP holders. We feel better north than rather being south. The big stories, though, are what? Gemini's launch was, I'm not going to say space station, because for real, girlfriend, that's your chart. It was the highest right off the bat, and from that point on, it's been down, 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 girlfriend, pumperoni, dumperoni. And we saw what happened with Circle. Tether, we know the deal there. Competition, yes. BNB on its way to 1,000, yes. Waiting for regs, you bet your butt I'm going to have you covered. So the stablecoin regs thing is big. And the reason it's big is because you had players launch stablecoins before regs. You had a whole bunch of banks talking about it right before they launched it. You had banks talk about it as soon as they launched it. And now you have players like Tether after the launch of regs going, yo, we want to play in that pool and launch another stablecoin. So I'm telling you, it comes in waves. And you're going to see the same thing with altcoin regs. Or altcoins news with altcoin regs. I couldn't say that correctly. Altcoin news with altcoin regs. There you go. What's going to happen is you're going to have some players do some altcoin stuff. You're kind of seeing that now. A few players in XRP strategic reserves. A few players in the Sol strategic reserve. Some people getting into BNB. Some people getting into Crow. You know, just little nibbles here and there. Then, once these players know, whoa, we're pretty much going to get regs. All right, cool. And then you're going to hear more announcements. Then once we get regs, you're going to hear a flood of announcements, just like you did with stablecoins. And then after the regs have been set, like they're live, then more players are going to get in. And you know how that goes, right? It's just going to come in waves. So we got to hang out and hold out. Why? Well, because regs ain't coming right away, because the government needs more people to buy their debt, because that's the big difference. See, stablecoins are backed by United States debt. Cryptos aren't. So who do you think the government's going to kind of block? See what I'm saying? Yeah, that's enough of that. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo bitches. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out. We got more live streams coming up. Jerome Powell FOMC meeting next week. That's the deal, Lemon Peel. Catch ya.